Well, boys and girls, welcome to BenchART. Time for Classic, and for today what I do have needed is Hot Wheels Unleashed, a game developed by Milestone SRI, and it is using Unreal Engine 4. And so my test today it is to see how this game performs on a MX130 or a GT940 MX with 2GB GDDR5. This is my recommended settings, so it's essentially 720p using the high settings, and if you go with these settings or even with ultra, you can expect an experience above 30 frames per second. There isn't really too much of a difference between the performance of ultra or high, as well as the visuals are virtually the same. As for median and low, things starts to improve dramatically. As you can see on median settings, the average goes from 41 on high to 49 on median, but the visuals, you can clearly start to notice the drop in quality. I started to try to find a good balance between performance and quality, or trying to have 60 frames per second, but it was not possible. The only thing that it was possible it is to have the game above 30 stable, and for that I really do think that you should play with high, and that's about it, but it's your choice. So regarding the requirements, these guys ask for a GTX 1050 or 960, so we are clearly below the minimum requirements. Possibly the requirements are for 1080p, because all I can say is the game is playable, not at 60 frames per second though, but at above 30, and it's still playable nonetheless. The fact that I suck at this game, that's another story, right? So that's all that you can expect about the performance on Hot Wheels Unleashed. Just one note that I want to add: this game have a lot of frame time issues, and by default it starts with the X12. The X12 performs worse than the X11 with these cards, so my suggestion it is to launch this game with the X11. So Hot Wheels Unleashed, I think it's an underappreciated game. I think the game it is excellent, but the stuff where these guys spent most of the time and doing a better job, it is something that only fans will notice. So first of all, regarding gameplay, this is a little bit like Mario Kart, but without the power-ups. So basically you have a track and you drift, for example, to earn boost or nitro, whatever, so you can use to gain extra speed and just pass through the opponents, and that's pretty much that. All right, this game have three great things in this game. First of all, it is really the graphics, which is not really hard to do it since the lightning is static, but even so the graphics are really something really good, and it's not really that demanding. The second thing, for people that likes to create their own tracks, this game have one of the best editors I ever seen. I'm not going to show you in here, but you can search on YouTube for track editor on Hot Wheels Unleashed, and you will be surprised with stuff that you can do in this track editor. So for people that like to create their own tracks, you will be sold, I can assure you of that. And third thing is, for the fans of Hot Wheels, this is a big deal, because this contains a lot of models from the past, since the early days, like the first model, the second, the third, as well as newer titles and newer models, I mean, and a lot of great models that were available. They are available inside this game, so that's really something that for people that love this type of stuff, it is really great. And the amount of detail that these guys did put inside into these cars, I mean, is really amazing. Unfortunately, you can only notice most of these details while you are not running the track, while you view the cars close on a garage or something. When you do that, you can even notice scratches from the last race that you did perform, or stuff like fingerprints from the owner of the car inside the car. So there are really some incredible details that these games pack, that most of us normal users that just want to play a racing game won't be able to notice. I only knew about this not because I ever noticed that, but mostly because I saw a video reviewing this game, and the guy showed that. I think it was IGN or GameSpot, I don't really remember, and I was so surprised with that. And also the track editor, it is really insane. But essentially it's just that. I feel that most of the game should be mostly the same, so the same type of tracks, the same drift types. The only thing that does change over time is that you can perform some crazy stuff in here, like airborne controls that allows you to perform some nice and crazy shortcuts for you to take advantage of. And also the background scenarios that are like 5 or 6. I'm not really sure how many there are, but they do change a little bit how the track feels because of the changes in the lighting mostly. But there are also some nice crazy things about the tracks that resembles a little bit of Trackmania, like playing the track upside down, because there are something that defies the gravity and makes your car being glued to the track, or some other random stuff that it is available, like having a spider in the top of the track throwing at you and the other opponents, some web stuff where you can get stuck. So there are some really nice cool things about this game that makes the tracks fresh, although there's that. Unfortunately, the game packs a little bit of monetization in form of loot box. You don't need to pay anything to get access to all the cars, although you will need to grind a lot, because every time you get access to a box, you might not get the car that you are missing out. So that's unfortunately one of the things that is bad about the game. Also, the second thing might be a little bit the price, because despite I do think that the game it is awesome, I'm not really sure if it is worth $49.99. I mean, if you are a purist of Hot Wheels and you kind of give credit for all the work that have been done with the models available, with the tons of details of the cars, if you give proper credit to that, I think it is worth it. But if you are going to play this game as a regular gamer that don't care about Hot Wheels, but you find this type of races fun, probably $49.99 might be expensive, because you won't be able to give the proper credit for all the efforts that these guys did put into the cars. Now, talking about the cars, each car has its own gameplay, which is interesting. The different types of nitro, different types of obviously turning, and they do differ a lot from each other. So each car has its own gameplay. That's why this video I was performing 3 tracks with the same car, because I was afraid to pick up a different car that was too different and I would play bad. And in fact, I do play bad in this game, because I barely know how to drift without hitting anyone or a corner. So I think that's all that I want to talk about Hot Wheels Unleashed. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.